Caleb Williams. Wow, does this guy love making headlines or what? Now this guy is declining to throw the football at the NFL Combine. This is Sports Guy Talking that you guys are watching and listening to. I am Dustin Tran, your host, and I am here today to talk about Caleb Williams refusing to participate in the NFL Combine despite being considered to be a generational talent at the quarterback position. Remember, Caleb Williams is also entering the 2024 NFL Draft without an agent, as radical decisions have been made with the Bears owning the #1 overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. It seems like they are going to end up drafting Caleb Williams after all. Before I say anything else though, I want to present you guys with a topic question. So here it is. Will Caleb Williams end up being a draft bust? I'm going to go ahead and say yes on that. I believe Caleb Williams will fail to live up to expectations of being a great quarterback in the National Football League. I'm hearing the hype around Caleb Williams, and a lot of people are saying that Caleb Williams is a generational talent. But when I look at Caleb Williams, I'm thinking that he is going to be a generational bust, or rather, should I say, a generational diva. Holy cow, there are a lot of red flags when you look at Caleb Williams' play style and his behavior off the field, with huge emphasis on his behavior off the field. Now, let me talk about his on the field first. I think Caleb Williams is an overrated quarterback. Yeah, I said it. I think Caleb Williams is an overrated quarterback on the football field. For a guy that is supposedly a generational talent and a guy that can carry talent around him, how come he never won a title at USC? How come he never won a conference at USC? Why is it that he didn't win a lot throughout his college career? I know that Caleb Williams didn't have a great supporting cast around him at USC, but shoot, he had Lincoln Riley as his coach. Lincoln Riley is one of the top coaches in college football. Caleb Williams is supposedly this generational talent. How come he didn't win a title in the Pac-12? I know the Pac-12 was good the past year, but what about Caleb Williams' first year as a starter for USC? It's not exactly like the Pac-12 was strong that first year Caleb Williams was in there. He got blown out to Utah in the Pac-12 championship game, and he played poorly in that game. Look, I get it. Caleb Williams is awesome at front running against bad football teams, but what happens when Caleb Williams plays against top 25 competition? The dude melts under pressure. Well, I'm actually not that concerned about his on-the-field antics. I believe that his on-the-field antics could somewhat be corrected because he is a heck of an athlete. He can run the football really well. He can throw it really far. He's got a lot of talent as far as I'm concerned when you talk about him on the field. Now let's talk about him off the field, because there are major red flags sounding off on this guy. Caleb Williams is not a leader of men. This guy wants partial ownership, allegedly, by the team that drafts him. I'll say this, Caleb Williams, if you're hoping for partial ownership for the team that ends up drafting you, get the heck out of here, because nobody deserves that, okay? Not even Patrick Mahomes has a minority stake in the Kansas City Chiefs, and that dude is one of the greatest quarterbacks that have ever played the game of football, and he's already a 3-time Super Bowl champion. So for Caleb Williams to potentially ask for a partial ownership, are you kidding me? He can't be that. And if you want to be a partial owner, this tells me that you're not all in on team success. If you're all in on team success, you're not going to worry about all the off the field drama. You're just going to be focusing on whether you can play or not at the NFL level. So obviously Caleb Williams asking for partial ownership is just crazy in my mind. I mean, of course, Caleb Williams is also talking about potentially not wanting to play for certain teams. Now, it seems like he's going to bust that narrative, but I'm hearing that Caleb Williams, he doesn't want to play for a number of teams in the National Football League. Look, man, whatever happened to being grateful for whichever team ended up drafting you, and then you make situations out of that. I understand that you don't want to get drafted into a horrible situation where the team ruins your career, but why do you get drafted so highly? It's because they believe in your talent. That's your job as a quarterback that gets drafted that highly. Your job is supposed to fix bad teams. That's why they're investing high draft picks in you. If your job wasn't to fix bad football teams, then they wouldn't be drafting you that high. That's what you're supposed to be here for. That's what competitive football is all about. It's all about being able to elevate bad football teams. Look at Joe Burrow for the Cincinnati Bengals. When Joe Burrow got drafted by the Bengals, they were an absolute mess. They were a franchise that hadn't won a playoff game since 1991. But what did Joe Burrow do? He took the Cincinnati Bengals to the Super Bowl in his second season as a starter. That's what he did. I need Caleb Williams to adopt that type of mentality. I don't think Caleb Williams is mentally strong at all. I think that's another red flag concerning Caleb Williams. This guy is not mentally tough enough to last at the NFL level. Before I say anything else though, I want to show you guys this clip of Caleb Williams at a press conference. This was after he lost another game, and here was his response as to how he dealt with losses. Roll the film.
Caleb, obviously emotional after, tonight. I mean, you leave everything out there, what's kind of your emotional state, mentality right now, trying to process this and how the season's going?
I want to go home and cuddle with my dog and watch some shows. I don't know we lost the game. Something to work hard for throughout months, years, to have big games like this, try and go win, play your best. Each and every one of us. We came out with the loss today. So emotionally, I want to go home and I want to lay with my dog.
This is what you call your future leader of men at the quarterback position? Are you kidding me? Caleb Williams shows no leadership abilities whatsoever. He doesn't even have the basic skills of being a decent teammate. And this is not just a one-time thing where Caleb Williams talked rather stupidly at the press conference. This is a pattern of behavior. You look at how he didn't shake hands to the opponent after losing to Notre Dame. You look at how Caleb Williams, after another loss in college football, ran into the stands and cried in his mother's arm. I've never seen a football player run up to the stands, find his mother, hop onto there and cry on her arms during a football game. I know that there were 30 seconds left in that game, but when he does that, that is absolutely crazy in my mind. I've been to come out in that kind of press conference and say, I just want to hang out with my dog and cuddle. Are you kidding me, Caleb Williams? Do you understand that these NFL teams are looking at everything that you're saying, and that even if they aren't, these kind of problems are going to appear at the NFL level? This dude is absolutely delusional if he believes he is the greatest talent to have ever existed. And all these scouts that keep saying, oh, Caleb Williams is the best thrower to have ever thrown the football. Look at his cannon of an arm. Are you kidding me? Drake Maye has just as strong as an arm as Caleb Williams. I'm not saying Caleb Williams is or isn't the best quarterback in this draft class. I'm not saying that Drake Maye is or isn't a great quarterback in this draft class. But what I am saying is that it takes a lot more than arm strength to determine the greatness of a quarterback. Because if we were to judge everything off of arm strength, I think Caleb Williams' arm is overrated, if I'm being quite frankly honest with y'all. I think Drake Maye has just as good as an arm as Caleb Williams, as well as other draft prospects that are much more raw than Caleb Williams. I understand that Caleb Williams has a lot of physical talent. I like how he can throw the football myself. I'll admit to you that Caleb Williams is a phenomenal football player if we're just talking about his skill only, but I hate everything else about his basic leadership skills, and for him to skip out on the combine, that is a symptom of his problem. I understand that a lot of prospects these days, they're skipping out on the combine, but if you play in the combine, you play well, that solidifies you in terms of who you are as a person, and what ends up happening with you on draft night will probably end up being a positive result. It can only help you. I don't think it should hurt him. And for Caleb Williams to skip out on the combine, it just tells you who he is as a person. This guy is not a competitor. This guy is not a born leader of men. And I get that not every quarterback can be a fantastic leader by speaking their words and that they have to lead by example. But I don't think Caleb Williams has basic forms of being a decent leader in the National Football League. I think Caleb Williams is a crybaby that is all about being a diva, and he is about show me the money. And obviously, it's a good thing the NFL employs the rookie scale contracts, because if they didn't employ the rookie scale contracts, this dude would be asking for over $100 million in his first contract, which is just absolutely crazy to me. This dude already thinks that he is the second coming of Tom Brady. He has already admitted himself that he is basically a clone of Patrick Mahomes. And also, here's the weird thing about Caleb Williams as well. This dude paints his fingernails as a hobby. What dude paints his nails as a hobby? Now, let's say if some hot chick ends up painting her nails or whatever, and she wants to show off to her friends and her boyfriend, okay, whatever. I wouldn't care much for it, but I'd be like, okay, I could understand. It would look kind of pretty cute on her, not gonna lie. But when a guy like Caleb Williams paints his fingernails, I'm thinking, what the hell is wrong with this guy? What is he doing? Why is he painting his nails? Why are you being weird like that? What dude paints his fingernails? This dude is a weirdo at best and a bad teammate at worst. And it seems like Caleb Williams to the Chicago Bears, that looks like a real possibility now that he's skipping out on the combine, because guys that are skipping out on the combine in terms of throwing, they typically mean that they are going to go number one somewhere, someplace. If that's true, based on what I'm thinking, then that's going to be a massive mistake by the Chicago Bears. I think the Chicago Bears need to keep Justin Fields and build around him. I think they need to trade out of that first pick, but they're not going to do that. It seems like the Chicago Bears are going to take Caleb Williams with the number one overall pick. If they do that, that is going to set the Bears back for years. I understand that Caleb Williams has a lot of physical talent, but the guy has no mental ability whatsoever to succeed at the NFL level, because this guy reminds me a lot of RG3 coming out of the draft, even though RG3 was not as good as a thrower as Caleb Williams. But I remember RG3 was all about the brand, and what happened? He sucked after his rookie year. That could be the case with Caleb Williams. This dude cares more about his brand more so than he cares about football, and I think Caleb Williams is a vastly overrated quarterback in this year's draft. This guy is way too arrogant to last in the NFL. This guy is one of the most arrogant draft prospects I have ever seen in my entire lifetime. To be honest, I'm kind of hoping Caleb Williams is going to fail at the NFL level, because I cannot accept this kind of arrogance coming from a draft prospect. I understand that he's a great thrower of the football, but he is a horrible leader respecter of men and that he doesn't even have basic skills of being a good teammate in the NFL level. I think that is going to hold him back from reaching his potential. That is going to be the reason why he will end up being a draft bust. Whoever drafts him, I hope that they will end up looking foolish drafting him, because I've already told you guys at the time that Caleb Williams is going to be a bust at the NFL level. This guy is not meant to be a great NFL quarterback, at least with the current attitude that he has right now in his mindset. So that's why Caleb Williams will end up being a massive draft bust, as he should be referred to as a generational diva instead of a generational talent. If you want to call him a generational bust, then I would be more than down for that as well. Remember, go ahead and subscribe to Sports Guy Talking. Like the video and please comment down below. If you guys do that, I may shout you guys out in my Instagram story every Monday. That will be for the @Dustin Tran Instagram account. Make sure to follow me on Instagram @Dustin Tran and that Sports Guy Talking. Also, go follow me on Twitter @Dustin Tran. Again, go ahead and do those things that I just told you guys to go do. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the content that was just produced. Peace out. I hope you enjoyed that video. Want more Sports Guy Talking, the home of great sports content? Make sure you click that subscribe button to get the latest from Sports Guy Talking. Go ahead and like the video, comment down below. Check the description box on the video in order to follow my Instagram and Twitter. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from the YouTube channel, Sports Guy Talking.